All right, are we live? I'm Ned Rust. I'm with Little Brown and Company in New York, and I am here with the greatest storyteller of our time, James Patterson, to discuss
Wow. I think I wrote that line.
a new thriller that's out today, one that surprised the heck out of me.
What's it called, Ned?
Cross Down.
Cross Down.
There it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm here and I'm live and I'm signing, so it's perfect for a live signing. It'll be so much fun. I can't wait. Look at this. I got a blue one and an orange one. You know, the cool thing, Ned, about the signing stuff, I have about 250 signed books. And a lot of people out there, and it's really, I mean, not to do their work for them, but they're great gifts and stuff because it's kind of cool. It's just not getting the book is a neat thing, but getting it signed makes it a little more special. I've the Bible signed by 8 of the disciples. It's cool. There's just a lot of cool things that you can do, and yeah.
This one, Cross Down, features one of the most fascinating and beloved characters you've ever created, a guy named John Sampson.
Yeah.
And he's been with Alex Cross from the very beginning, all the way from Along Came a Spider.
Before that, they were childhood friends in DC. Yeah.
Yep.
Nana Mama helped raise John Sampson
as well. Yeah. But the twist here is that John, while he's been leading a couple chapters along the way, he's got his whole book this time. He's in front. He is the lead character. So we're going to just talk about how you came about writing this book.
Here's a cool Sampson, but interesting thing. We just finished shooting the series for Amazon.
Yeah.
And we have 8, and Aldous Hodge is Alex, but Isaiah Mustafa, I believe is the name. He's going to be Sampson, and he's great. And he actually, this is so weird. He's the Allspice guy, the man in the Allspice commercials. And they were a little like, oh, he's the Allspice guy. I don't know if we can use him, but he's great. He was great in the auditions, and they finally said, okay, well, we're going to use him. And he's a big guy, which so that makes sense. He played football in college. I think I'm going to say Arizona State, but I'm not positive about that.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. That'll be a cool thing about the Sampson stuff. And actually, the first season, Sampson's a big character in the TV show, and it revolves around the time of Alex's wife Maria's death.
Right.
So that's, I don't know, it's cool stuff. Just a little backstory that only you folks that are watching get to hear that and know that.
Are they talking about have Sampson have his own TV series one of these days? I guess we'll have to do it.
Not yet. But I don't think they've read the book yet, Cross Down. So after they do, you always hope Maximum Ride is somebody's favorite. That's so cool. I love Maximum Ride. I always thought that should have been a movie, but maybe we'll get there at some point. But the Cross Down thing, you were asking about how it came about.
Yeah.
Well, a little piece of it, as I love the idea of maybe doing 2 crosses in a year, which I think I did once, I'm not sure. And then I started thinking about what would be sort of different and exciting for me to write, but also exciting for people to read. And I thought that if Sampson carried the story more, it would be a real cool one. And this one starts out with a real, punch in the gut. And I won't tell you that right away. We'll wait a little on what the punch in the gut is. So what else, Ned? What else you got on your mind?
But it is a good one, and I think every Alex Cross fan is going to feel that impact right when they pick up this book. It's very.
You always hope every time I start a book, I always hope it's going to be pretty good. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but this time, no, it always works out. Yes, no, it doesn't always. But in Cross Down, it does. It's a really cool story. The action never flags. Sampson lives up to the part as a real good star character.
Yeah. I've heard you talk about. We all know a great ending is a great ending, but a great beginning is pretty good for a reader too, getting in there.
Somebody said if you can write really good beginnings and endings, you will make a lot of money. If you can write middles, you get the Pulitzer, the Nobel Prize. So apparently, I haven't written a good middle yet.
This may be the one.
You think? You think this could be the one for the Nobel?
This moves
Yeah, I
pretty.
hope they're watching there in Stockholm.
Well, we will find out. It's on sale today for the first time, so people will
Okay, we can maybe send this video to the right people in Stockholm.
We know people here. We'll find a way.
If you're listening and watching, I do mess around a little bit, so don't take some of this stuff too literally.
So in deciding,
greetings from the Netherlands. Hello, Netherlands. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sylvia. Readers, I suspect, have asked for some more focus on Sampson over the years. I know Nana Mama and Sampson get a lot of attention in the.
Yeah, no, they want more from them, and they also threats to me about if Nana Mama ever dies, I'm in trouble. And the cat, who you might not have seen in several of the books, but the cat's fine. Cat has not suffered any bad consequences. In fact, our cat I had to take out of here because he would have been, he's a baby, 7 months, and he'd be crawling on the computer and on my face and stuff. So our cat, Max, after Maximum Ride, or maybe after HBO Max, who can tell about these things, he will not be part of the scene here today.
Yeah, we'll train him up to help with preparing the books for signing. Yeah,
I am teaching him how to sign books. That's one of his assignments.
Did it feel different writing this book versus a regular Alex Cross? I mean, I imagine you have the character in your head as you're writing, right? So
yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, because you get into a certain rhythm. I mean, Alex is in the book, obviously, and he's a significant part and very emotional. One of the editors talked about crying a lot in terms of some of the things that happen here. But you get used to, there's a certain rhythm to writing about Alex continually through the book, and this changes it, and it also gives it a little different tone. It's very fast paced. Actually, Mike Lupica just read it, one of my partners in crime, and he couldn't believe the body count. He said there's more bodies get down here than in a John Wick movie, but we get a lot more story in than John Wick. More things happen here than that the hero loses his dog.
Yeah.
So a little more story in these books.
And the characters, I think there's some more depth to them too.
Have somebody just finished reading my autobiography, and they said good stuff. It's very nice. Thank you very much.
You do guarantee a good ride.
Hopefully your store will have opened up the trade paperback by now. That's sort of an end story. Go ahead, Ned. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Did anything surprise you when you were writing this one? I mean, from.
Yeah, it always surprises me. I had a lot about who done it, who's sort of behind this thing. I mean, there's a big, and this isn't that far fetched, unfortunately. There's sort of a big conspiracy here in terms of overthrowing the government and changing the way things operate in the United States. So that's a part of the story. And there's a lot of fireworks in that direction, murders in Washington and bombings and things like that are starting to, the president is very involved. At one point, it's actually a real thing in terms of a procedure for how they have to take the president out of the White House under attack. And that's a little bit of the story. Yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know him too well already, how are John and Alex different? Would you say? Is there a sentence you would say that?
Well, as you said earlier, they've been best friends since they were kids, 11, 12, 13 years old. Nana Mama really shaped both of their lives. Alex's grandmother, and she's really had an effect. And she's the law. I mean, when Sampson comes for breakfast or dinner or whatever at the house, she's telling him what she thinks of how he's operating. And in this book, she has a lot of advice for him. And they change over the years a bit in terms of what the relationship is. And there's been some, Alex lost Maria early in the game, or early in the book series, and. I don't know how much everybody's read, but Sampson has some problems in terms of his wife as well. Both of them have new women in their lives. So there's a little bit of a romance for Sampson, which is nice. He deserves it. And Sampson has a little girl, Willow, uh, not named after Willow Smith, who was at my house one time. She wanted Willow Smith. Will's daughter wanted to be a Maximum Ride. So they came to this house actually in Florida, and they were here at this table having lunch, and it didn't happen. But somebody speaking to me in French, I love your fort. No, Trey Fort. I'm sorry.
I think it may, yeah, maybe I love you
Very, very
strong.
Fort-like. No, I'm my French. I don't have any.
So that was Will Smith's daughter, right? Willow, you said.
Will Smith, yeah, Willow. But this Willow, Sampson's daughter is not named after Will Smith's daughter, Willow. She's named after willow trees, which we have in our yard in New York.
Up north, yeah. Was she sort of an inspiration for the character at all? I mean, the relation.
No, she was not.
Yeah.
No, and we're not sending any money to the Smith family. No, she had nothing to do with the character. Zero.
Did anybody or inspire the idea? I mean, it's such a great relationship between the two of them, between her and her dad.
No. I mean, part of my I did a bunch of kids' books, as you know, and part of the stimulation there was our Jack was a kid when I started writing those books. So Jack is always a stimulation, and part of it, Jack's a bright dude, always was, and but he wasn't a big reader, and part of the stimulation was to create kids' books and then adult books as well that people couldn't put down. There was one of the movie people when they were going to do it, and they said they sort of flipped the book like that sound of that wisp, and they said that's the sound of reading a James Patterson novel. I'm supposed to be signing these damn things. I forgot. I'm supposed to be talking and signing. So I'm going to start doing that now.
Right.
I'm using my black pen here, which is very cool, the black pen. And these books will be going out to all of whoever decides to bite on this. And as I say, sometimes for some people, they'll want a couple because they want to give them to grandma, or grandmas want to give them to their kids, or whatever.
And speaking of kids and fathers, there's a holiday coming up this weekend. I know there are a few people getting them for their dads.
This is actually for the dads. It's good because, as I said, there's a lot of murders in this, and dads love those murders.
They like the body count.
There's murders, and there's love stories, and then Alex, who we didn't get into it, but the title is Crossed Down, so that might give you a hint. And something does happen to Alex, and I'm not even going to tell you whether Alex survives the book. How's that for a teaser? And even though we have another book coming out later this year, that doesn't mean anything. So I'm not going to let you off the suspense hook.
Don't
but
trust your bookseller.
There's definitely something happens, and I'm just heating up here on this signing. This is really cool. That reminds me of being on the road. I will be on the road in September. I don't remember where the hell I'm going, but I'm going to switch now from this black pen. I'm going blue for the next group. So if you get a blue book, you'll know a signed blue book. You'll know how that happened.
Yes, but right. They're all very rare, but if you get a blue one, you'll know it happened, right?
Blue one will be, oh my God. This looks so cool in blue.
So Father's Day.
Here's the book with the cross down. It's a very nice cover. Sometimes they aren't. Sometimes they're better than other times. And you'd rather look at this than me anyway. What does it say? In Crossdown, John Sampson tells of his crime-solving partnership with Alex Cross. It says I'm legendary. CNN said that. And Harlan Coben says I'm a legend. Wow. He's a very nice man. I like Harlan a lot. He used to actually come to signings. He was writing the Bolitar books, but he wasn't famous yet. He wasn't a big bestseller. And he used to come to the signings over in Jersey. And it was just like this. It was sort of like you could pretend that you're Harlan Coben and I'm signing your book. To Harlan, good luck. I hope you write a lot of books and become my competition. which is what's happened. I didn't really plan on that happening. I'm done with the blue now. I'm going to orange, which is pretty cool.
Orange now.
Another rare one. And there is a little bit of orange on the cover, as there is some blue and some black. Oh, the orange is really cool.
It all resonates.
I'm big on the orange thing. So what else, Ned?
So what else? On the theory that Alex makes it through this book, that we're not saying one way or the other, but do you think Alex and John's relationship's going to be the same after John has had a star turn?
I don't know. That kind of jealousy. It's like you and I, Ned. Now that you're on the big stage here, will it be the same the next time we sit down to break bread, or will, kind of, it's different. So
be a new dynamic.
Yeah.
What about Father's Day?
Ned, by the way, is he's the boss of bosses at Little Brown in terms of my books. So if you ever have any issues, like a book showing up with the pages in the wrong order, which happens from time to time, which is bizarre to me, but apparently it happens. It won't happen with these books because we went through them, number by number. But if it does happen, just send a letter to Little Brown and just put Ned on it because they'll know who that is.
They'll get it right through. Yes, and I will make good and have a stressful day. But
or the Ned. Yeah. I'm reaching over here, still working with the orange pen. So cool. Wait a minute, I signed these already. Wow. Okay.
And Father's Day.
Sometimes it gets confusing. I've done some celebrity signings with, like with President Clinton.
Yep.
And I'm much faster than he is. Also, his signature is so tiny. It's like, I don't know, he like writes in it. It's bizarre. And he does them standing up too. He doesn't want to sit.
How fast was Dolly Parton? Was she?
No, Dolly's not that fast because
she has a very nice.
Dolly has very flowery handwriting. Yeah. Very pretty, as you would expect. And so she's not a quick signer.
How about Lupica?
Lupica's good.
Yeah,
He's quick. He's a pro. He's a pro in all ways.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if we're doing this with Premiere. We should, if they're listening. Or they probably went to sleep during this, but if they are listening, we should do
12 months.
12 months to live.
Yep.
That's one coming up in September. So anybody who's listening, not that you should skip the books between now and then, but definitely don't miss. In fact, I want to write something about that, about not missing that, because you have this little window of the book window, and then all of a sudden you go, oh, well, 10 weeks have passed. I'll skip that one. Don't skip 12 months to live. That's it. And don't skip, well, you won't skip Crosstown, I don't think.
Yeah.
Now that we've had this nice talk and have signed that grouping, which will go in the special box, which is going to go right from, I don't know, from Premiere to your house, wherever you live, Jacob. And
it will come there in whatever color you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I signed the Maximum Ride books. I can't because we don't have any here, but maybe sometime.
Yeah, we should get one of those set up.
Yeah, I'd like Maximum Ride. We don't do as much with that as maybe we should. I can't convince Little Brown that it's really a big series, even though it sold 30 million books. It's weird. New blood, the new blood in there. And
clearly, there are a lot of fans out there still.
New bloodless, as we call them. Yeah. So what else, Ned?
So Father's Day, what about you? Are you is your family gonna give you some extra reading time?
They'll give me Crosstown for Father's Day, which is kind of weird, but so it'd be cool. You know how it is with a lot of these gift days where you're getting stuff like, oh wow, yeah, the colored socks. I hear they're kind of in now with all the designs and cool, and but you're not going to really wear them. And then you have the sock drawer full of things that you've never actually even taken the tags off of, which is, So rather than that, you might consider Crosstown. I would.
Yep.
Yeah. For Dad. It depends on if you don't love them, screw them. Don't give them Crosstown. But if you have any affection for them, this would be good. Doesn't read that much. Good. Well, this is the kind of thing we'll get them reading again.
Yep.
And there's no reason to leave Mom out. So, it's only like 300 and some days to Mother's Day again, but that's so what?
Yeah. You're probably thinking you didn't get your mom something good enough for Mother's Day after you
Yeah.
get this.
And of course, the most important person of all, you.
Yeah.
And one of the tricks, it's a cheap trick, but you can get it for yourself and then give it to your father. Just be careful about, there's a lot of things you can do that sort of leave hints, like dog earing pages, and so you just have to be careful how you read it if you're going to read it before you give it to dad or mom or grandma or some teacher that you want to get your kid a little better grade. You give them crossed out and go, this has nothing to do with Johnny's grade, but we thought you might like this anyway. Johnny loves you so much. Yeah.
Don't put your own name in the front. You
Mm-hmm.
get a signed one with Jim's name. Your
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah. Be careful.
Like that even better, but yeah.
Yeah, Jim signed it just for you. That's right.
I asked you about the TV show. What about more Sampson not thriller adventures books? Are you?
Yeah, well, the publisher's asking for those. I think that's a possibility. I'm thinking about another Sampson and Cross book. That'd be fun. I did enjoy doing this one, and as I said, you hope that they're all gonna turn out. They do turn out, but you hope they're going to turn out well. And this one really did, and it really does. I mean, it just never stops coming out. The president is a big piece here, and then the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and Sampson actually has to go back to not Afghanistan, but back to actually who you see. What's happened with him in this weekend?
Jim, I think we're having a little Wi-Fi issue, maybe on your end. All right. Well, we're here with James Patterson. We may be having a small technical difficulty, but he's busy signing books. Just ahead of Father's Day, we just lost him, but I'm sure he will be back. We covered a bunch of things, including here he is.
They slides, and now we're on different sides.
Yeah, now we're swapped.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah. So where were we? Oh yeah, I had Alex in Southeast Asia, and with Deacon, his CIA partner and friend and whatever, and some things happen there that are kind of exciting. And it gets back into because Sampson, people don't know that much about him, but he was in the Army, kind of a nice little Army career before he became a cop. And then back to the States. There's another Sampson initially gets involved with another one of somebody who he was in the Army with, and he goes down in the area of Fort Dix, and they cause a lot of trouble down there.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
we go all over the place in this book. New England, the South,
yeah,
Asia. It's just, it just boom.
They're based in D.C., but unlike some politicians, they get out everywhere. Yep.
They do. Yeah.
No, I thought the book was great.
You see Nikki Haley last night? That was interesting. At Town Hall. I watched it instead of watching the Joker, the Denver basketball game. So I thought it was quite an interesting hour and a half, actually. Yeah. Very interesting. She's very articulate. I'm not saying that I'm good, bad, or indifferent about her, but she was very articulate. Really wouldn't take any crap, which I liked.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. Interesting time to watch her. Not saying I'm voting for her. I'm just saying that it was a good town hall.
No endorsement implied. Just.
And I'm a basketball fan, so that was. But getting back to this cross down, what can we say about it? Nice cover, and it does have that little Alex Cross and John Sampson. Actually, it might even be it should be the other way. Maybe I don't know. Maybe not.
See how Alex takes it. We'll talk about it for the next time.
But it is. The other thing this year. We kind of have Alex Cross in the summer. I don't think we've had a summer. Maybe one of the short ones, the book shots. I don't know when that came out. Might have been a summer one.
Yeah, I think we had a summer one, but yeah, this is the first time.
Patsy just ordered. We're selling for the Premier Company, which is excellent. They're actually good partners. They call themselves Premier. Sometimes these companies go, really, Premier? But they actually do an excellent job. So they're good. They're good at it. They take care of the books.
They live up to their name.
Take care of the authors. That's why I have a nice beer here, which I'm not allowed to drink on camera. But they gave me a lot of stuff. There's beer. There's cheesecake, which I'd eat, but I'm having a little diet now. Lost 10 pounds, which is cool.
That's great.
Yeah. Eat nothing white. No pastas, no bread, no sweets, and no alcohol. Ooh, alcohol isn't white, but alcohol gets thrown in there.
There'll be a Father's Day exception, though, right? Then you get 24 hours off for that.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling about it. But yeah, maybe.
All right.
That's a ways off. I mean, when is Father's Day?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. All right. Okay.
Or 2 weeks from yesterday.
Well, that's perfect because you have time to read it before you give it to Dad. That's so good. Or the 2 copies if you're really, kind of a more ethical person.
Right. An even better child. You can do that.
Yeah.
The Alex Cross TV show that we mentioned at the beginning. Any other details on that? Do we know when it's coming or?
Well, I've seen all 8 episodes. It's the main crime. There are actually 2. There's a threat against the Cross family, and which is an interesting one, which goes all the way back to Maria and her murder, and then the other evil person it's wonderful, portrayed by one of the guys from New Amsterdam. I can't remember his name. I'm so bad with names. But he's very, very good. A wonderful villain. Probably the best villain, better than any of the villains in the movies. Sinigi is a good villain. I thought the guy in the movie was okay.
Right.
But this villain is really so that's a cool part of the story. It's shot pretty well. Alex, I think this is a good Alex. He's a hunk. So. Even more of a hunk than Morgan Freeman, believe it or not. Morgan's a great actor, but I don't know. Hunk is not necessarily a noun I'd use with him. But Aldous is he's a good-looking guy and a very good actor.
Great.
See him with his shirt off a couple of times. So a lot of cool stuff coming your way.
Good body count in the show.
Yeah, reasonable. It's not. I wouldn't say it's not something that's going to shock people away. Although the villain does have some bad habits, I will say that. I'm
intrigued. All right.
Yeah. No, it's good. What he's doing, the villain is definitely something I hadn't thought of before. So it's pretty cool.
Good. And you said Sampson has a good role in the show, in his portrayed role.
Yeah. Sampson's a big part, and he's really good in the show too.
Yeah.
He doesn't take any crap from Alex. So yeah.
Good.
And as I said before, it is a guy who's in the Old Spice commercials, and he doesn't have any of the little whatever, but he's really good. He's a strong guy. As I said, he used to be a football player, a college football player, and he's a good actor. And Aldous is good too. Aldous was in Showtime series City on the Hill with Kevin Bacon. He was the lawyer in that, and then he was in that movie about, was it Atlantic City, One Night in Atlantic City, or something like that.
Yeah.
No, stop with the TV series. This is about we're here with the autographed books, not just the TV series.
That's right.
You cannot buy the TV series. I'm not selling that right now.
Nope.
Oh my God! Now we're almost a half an hour. This is so exciting. 29, 42, 43. 44. Are we going to let them ask?
What color are we on to now, Jim, for the signatures?
Signing. I've signed what I'm going to sign here in this particular. I'll be signing. Actually, I did. They send me books to sign. I learned this from Clinton. You sit there and you sign them when you're watching television.
Yeah.
And that makes it sort of a little more. It's not like I had somebody to talk to when I'm signing usually. Maybe we could do that next time, Dad, when I'm signing the many 500 or so books, whatever the number is. Maybe you could talk to me on the phone or something while I'm signing. Yeah, it'd be great fun for both of us.
We could do it like those Manning brothers during the game.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Perfect. Wait, we could do that. Yeah. That could be a whole new thing. That could be. You want to do Poison Pen tonight? The two of us.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing Poison Pen tonight. I don't know where it is, how you get on it, but I think you can get on it on. How do you get on it? Do you know? I don't know.
I think if you search the Poison Pen
Poison
bookstore.
Pen. Yeah, if you
Yeah.
go to the bookstore thing, they're in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
So it'll be on the internet somewhere, or they'll put it on YouTube or something afterwards. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. But
Why am I? I'm
if you
selling
want,
it.
if you want a signed book, though, this is the place.
This is the only. Oh, there's no. I have no signed books anywhere else. This is
Yeah.
it. This is the whole ball of wax.
I got some reader questions that have come in here, so we should probably that are about the book, not the TV.
If Harrison Ford can still be Indiana Jones, Morgan Freeman can still be Alex Cross. I suppose you're right, but no, we're not going to have any 80-year-old detectives running around. I actually have a show that Morgan Freeman could be in. I just wrote a kind of a cool thing. It's about two aging former detectives, whatever, CIA, and they're in their 80s, and that could actually be kind of fun. Good. So, Morgan, if you're listening, I have something for you to consider. Morgan's probably listening. Probably all the ex-Alex Crosses are listening. Wouldn't miss.
He wants one of the blue signatures. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Stephanie from Escanaba, Michigan, asking, who is your favorite character in the Alex Cross series and why?
Who is my favorite character in the Alex Cross series? Allie. No, Alex is my favorite character. I've been with Alex for a long time now, since I was a boy. So yeah, no, I love Alex. And the thing about Alex is he goes through what we all do, which is trying to balance our work lives and our family lives. It's very extreme with him because his work life is so dangerous. Most of our work lives aren't dangerous in that way. They're boring, but they're not dangerous. But we have to balance that. We have to balance the corporate intrigues or whatever, wherever you work, or teacher or ER nurse, or whatever ER nurses. That's actually harder than what Alex does. But that thing of balancing it and somehow keeping the family in balance is a hard thing. And I think that's one of the reasons that people like Alex. But so I do like Alex. Nana is great. She's another enduring character. And as I said earlier, I've been threatened if she ever dies. But people do live now to be like 105 and stuff. So she'll probably outlive me, which is a tragedy. But so it goes.
All right, we got Karen from Willow Spring, North Carolina. Yes. I've seen a lot of chat on the side here about your autobiography. If you could choose any actor to portray you in your life story, who would it be?
How about Bobby Redford? He's about the right age now. I don't know. They might need a younger guy. And I don't think we have to worry about this though. But I think it's a fun book, and if you haven't tried it, you might consider it. It is. We don't. Did we do? I don't think we did. I don't know if remember we did sign with Premiere or not for that. But it's just all stories, and I promise not to bore you with it. It's just a lot of stories, and I will say this: if you have any interest in writing or reading, you really like, you'll get a lot about what it's like to be a writer, what it's like to want to be a writer, what it's like to be a wannabe writer. All that stuff is in there, and then what it's like to if you're really lucky and you break through. And luck is a big part of it, obviously.
And also a bit about, like with Alex, I found some good advice in there about work-life balance and although you call it play, not work, at least. But
no, I don't work for a living. I play for a living. But look, if you're lucky enough to find something you love to do, then it is play. I mean, but that you really have to be lucky for that to happen. And I struggled in advertising for a while, which I did not love. But as I say, I've been clean for over 30 years now. So the advertising is behind me. I think it's 30 years, might be 25. It's a while.
Well, that leads right into this question from Angela at Staten Island.
Angela, it's you. Oh, my God, Staten Island. So some of my best friends are from Staten Island. St. Peter's High School. Yay, go. Merrill, yay.
She's asking, when was it that you realized that writing was going to be your career?
Well, I think it was when I got a book deal that I felt that I could pay my electric bill. I was very lucky in that I sold the first book at 26. Did not make enough money to quit my day job, but I did sell, and I won an Edgar, which is particularly unbelievably cool to win an Edgar at 26. And here's Stephen King saying I can't write. How could he say that? What a silly thing to say. That's like me saying that he can't write good horror movies, stories, books, movies, whatever he's doing. But that was the breakthrough. And then it took me a while before I could make enough money so that I could actually pay the electric and the water bill and rent. Rent is important. And food. You got to have food too. So, yeah, that took a bit.
About the writing process here, and I think I know the answer to this one. How do you overcome writer's block?
Well, Ned, what is the answer to that one?
I believe that you have never had writer's block. Is that
Oh, yeah.
accurate?
Actually, I did. I
did?
did have writer's block. I was with a woman for 7 years. The last 2.5 years, she was dying of a brain tumor. When she died, I did have writer's block. I had it for about a year, maybe a little longer than that. I actually tried to write a book. This is in the autobiography. And it was so bad that I shredded it. I swear to God, I shredded it. There's nothing left of it. I don't remember the title. I don't even remember much about the subject matter. So I did have writer's block for a while. And I mean, whatever you want to call that, and I think with some people, that's how writer's block happens. It is emotional. But that's, so I was blocked for a while.
Yeah. These days, though, I mean,
That's not a good answer from you, but let's try again.
I liked it. And I, see, I can't answer these for you, Jim. How about the creative process? Somebody is asking. What is it?
How about it? I'm sorry. What's the question?
For instance, when does the idea of the book happen? Do you just sort of get a notion and go scribble it down, or?
Yeah. Well, in the office, I'm not in my office here now, but I have a stack of pages about this thick. There's a very clever title on it, ideas, and it's just that I'll have an idea. It could be a title sometimes, could be like Suzanne's Diary for Nicholas, which I was in our living room, and Sue has taken several million pictures of our son Jack, and I was looking through paging through one of the books of photographs, and it just occurred to me that at some point, because Sue and I had him a little late in life, that we'd be gone and he'd be looking through these photographs. And then I had this horrifying idea that he would be gone and we'd be looking through these photographs. And that's where the idea of Suzanne's Diary for Nicholas came from, that thing about parents outliving their child, or maybe outliving their child. But today I was up there, I was actually doing outlines for 2 books, which I may or may not write. I wrote a couple of pages on both of them. And I won't go into them because I don't know if I'm going to write them, and then one of you will just, you might just go write the book. So I can't lay out what they are. But they were interesting enough that I would write out a page or so. One of them has to do with a sport I invented, believe it or not. I actually invented a sport. It's a pretty cool sport, I must say. And it's actually been bought by partners that we have out in Hollywood. So we'll see what happens. I think we're going to try to turn it into a movie first, and that will demonstrate the sport for the world. And they go, "Wow, this is a cool sport. Let's really do the sport." So yeah, stuff like that. You never know.
Cool. Well, we can definitely do signings while that sport is playing on TV down the line. I see a Rosie Blowers asked about, or no, she just said she took your master's class and loved it.
Thank you. Yeah. It was fun to do. I might do something with them again. I talked to them recently. I don't know. We talked about maybe doing something, because after I did that class, since then I've written a lot of nonfiction. I wrote a lot of children's books. I wrote a memoir. So there might be another. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know where they're at on that, but I talked to them a week or so ago.
Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, Masterclass, I don't know if you've seen them online.
Masterclass is online. Yeah, it's different artists, athletes, whatever, and they sort of will go on and talk to you. See, but with me, there's a chance you might become a writer and write books. Serena Williams, you're not going to watch the Serena Williams. I love Serena, but you're not going to all of a sudden become Serena Williams. You might become James Patterson. So, for what it's worth. But anyway, but that's what it is. And they'll talk about sort of, how to do what they do, how to be like a great tennis player.
Or a better one at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be realistic if I was teaching you how to play tennis, because, you might get like 10% improvement.
You basketball and golf, you could well, and then we'll see about this new sport.
I wouldn't listen to myself about golf. Here's my highlight reel for sports. I'm an okay golfer at best, but I have 9 holes in one. Just weird, and people don't, but it's true. And when I was a kid, I could dunk a basketball, even though I'm a little shy of 6 feet. That's it. That's my highlight reel.
That's a pretty good highlight reel.
Yeah.
And you did a few bestsellers too. So.
And the lowlights I have too, but I'm not going to get into those.
All right. I see I just missed it. Somebody was asking about Michael Bennett. Is there a Michael Bennett book coming this year too?
There is a Michael Bennett. We try to do a Michael every year. That's actually President Clinton's favorite series, is the Bennett series. Michael, if you don't know him, is a New York cop. You talk about balancing your life and your work life and your life. Michael, and it's weird the way it happened, but it's believable, I think. He has 10 children, and they're all adopted, and it's different races. It's weird how it happened, but it did happen. And so Michael has to balance the 10 kids and his work life as a detective, a homicide detective.
And a widower.
There is one this year coming called Obsession.
Yep.
And there's a new one that I'm just finishing, and I'm working on titles. I'm not sure what.
Somebody is asking one I've heard before, but maybe you have an update. Will you write a crossover between Cross, Boxer, and Bennett?
No, the problem with the crossovers, I'd love to do it, and I wanted to do Cross and Bennett, but when we sold the rights to Paramount, they insisted on having all the rights. So if I put the Women's Murder Club in a Cross novel, they would claim to own the Women's Murder Club. By the way, we have a lot of business with Skydance, a very wonderful film company, production company. And that's who we did Cross with, or at least they're one of the partners. And we're also doing Women's Murder Club with them, and they have a pilot already for a Women's Murder Club series. So I have my fingers crossed about that. They also have, I mentioned 12 Months to Live, which is coming out in September, which I love. I think it's the best character, maybe even better than Alex, that I've created. And they also have the rights to that. And we've attached to that an Academy Award. I'm not allowed to say who they are. Academy Award winning actress who will play Jane Smith. We have the title I wanted to use was Jane Effing Smith, and it scared some people. So it's going to be 12 Months to Live, at any rate. But we have an Academy Award winning actress attached. We have one of the best showrunners on television attached, and a great writer from the show Ozark. Which Ned has some connection to Ozark. At any rate, so that's a cool thing. Having nothing to do with this book, Crossdown, which I guarantee you, if you like my books, you will like this. And if your relatives or whatever, in terms of gifts and stuff like that, they will enjoy it a lot. It really is a fun one.
If I were to
say, not all of them turned out well, but this one turned out really well.
No, it's excellent. If I were to, not that we're comparing Alex and John Sampson, but if I were to stack this against Alex's adventures, it would definitely be top 5. It's great.
Yeah. No, Sampson holds its own. He holds its own. He does.
Here's one back to the writing process. If you were not a writer, what, and we know it's not advertising, would your occupation be?
Assassin. Not really. I would love, in theory, to run a production company in Hollywood or run a studio, but I really wouldn't like it. But I like the idea of it. I'd like the idea of just making movies, telling stories for the screen. I would love to do that. Unfortunately, they make it so hard out there with all of everybody gets a vote and it's crazy. And it's just, it's unfortunate that it's become so complicated, because it shouldn't be that complicated. You should be able to tell a great story, put it down on paper. I do hope the writer's strike ends soon, and I hope the writers get the respect they deserve out there, because they don't get enough. And it's, and they do need to get, the directors, they just, the directors, we got to take care of the directors, which is fine. But, no writers, nothing for the directors to direct, even though they all think they could write the scripts themselves. But from what I've seen, most of the directors cannot write the scripts, even though they think they can. So please take care of our writers out there. They deserve better than they get.
Yeah. But meantime, we're not too sad that you're not out producing films, because we need you to write some more books.
Yeah. Well, it's just a hypothetical.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Leading man, actor, that would never happen. No, sorry. Oh, no. Oh, rock and roll singer. That will never happen either. I'd love to be, if I could trade, I don't know if I want to trade with Bono, because I don't know if he's the happiest dude in the world, but that'd be cool. You too. Yeah, I'm there.
You kind of did a duet with Dolly Parton. That was something.
Dolly and we've tried a little, and Dolly said, don't quit your day job. But yeah, it was fun. Dolly and we've had a lot of fun. We're now that the director's strike seems to be ending, I think we'll probably be shooting Run Rose Run in the fall. I think, fingers crossed, but that's looking like a possibility. TBD.
That'd be so great.
Yeah, good script, very good script.
And I think
I did not write it, so I can say that.
I think we are up on time. So, anything else you want to say about Crosstown, Jim? It's on sale today, and signatures here at Premiere.
That's right. We got signatures for everybody, and a couple of different colored inks. Somebody out there will get the one signed in orange, a couple signed in orange, a couple signed in blue, very special. If you get those, if you send a note to Little Brown with a picture of the colored thing, I'll send you a book. If you got an orange or a blue, yeah.
You just write my name
send
on
it to Ned at Little Brown. And if you just have to prove it a little bit, not that I don't trust you, but a black and white. So if it's got the orange or the blue, and I'll send you some kind of a book.
Great.
Maybe not, maybe one of Harlan Coben's. I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
Please don't kill Alex. Hey,
Yep.
read the book, see what happens.
Yeah.
Cross down. He's down, but is he out? That was the Muhammad Ali thing. Everybody gets knocked down. The trick is getting up again. So
Yep.
I don't know. I think Alex has enough to get up, but we'll see. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Dad. That was great.
Thank you.
So just remember the block book thing for next time.
Yep.
And we're going to sign books together from now on.
Okay.
Thank you.
Looking forward.
It says leave here, see if it works. Nope.
Hey, this is John Acuff, New York Times best-selling author of 7 books and someone who's done a live signing. If you like the one you just watched, make sure you check out our YouTube channel. It's full of amazing authors having great conversations and signing books for viewers just like you. So make sure you subscribe, and thanks for watching today.